You throw a rock into a cave, right? Instead of hearing it hit the ground, you hear the sound of a clay jar shattering, right? That single moment will lead to one of the greatest archaeological discoveries in history. Hear me out on this, right? A discovery that completely changed how historians studied the Bible, Judaism, and the ancient world. Pay attention to me, right? These weren't just old scrolls. Some are over 2,000 years old, making them the oldest surviving copies of parts of the Hebrew Bible ever found. But why were they hidden? Who wrote them? And why do scholars still debate them today? Let's dive into the mystery of the Dead Sea Scrolls. The year was 1947. Let me take you back. Near the northwest shore of the Dead Sea, is in what is now the West Bank, a young Bedouin shepherd stumbled across a cave unlike any he ever seen before, right? Pay attention to me. Inside were tall clay jars. Some contained ancient leather scrolls wrapped in linen cloth. At first, no one realized what they had found. But as archaeologists began exploring nearby caves, they uncovered something extraordinary. Over the next several years, nearly 900 manuscripts and fragments were discovered in 11 caves around a place known as Qumran, right? It quickly became one of those most important archaeological discoveries of the 20th century. The scrolls contained an incredible variety of ancient writings. Some were copies of books that appears in Hebrew Bible. Others included religious commentaries, prayers, community rules, and writings that had never been seen before. One of the biggest discoveries, a nearly complete copy of the book of Isaiah. Before the Dead Sea Scrolls were found, the oldest complete Hebrew manuscripts dated to around the 10th century AD. But the Isaiah scroll pushed that evidence back by nearly 1,000 years, right? That gave historians an unprecedented opportunity to compare ancient biblical texts across centuries. Many passages were remarkably similar, while others revealed small differences that helped scholars understand how ancient texts were copied and preserved over time. Here's where things become more mysterious. Many scholars believe the scrolls were connected to a Jewish community called the Essenes, or Essenes, right? The descendants were known for the disciplined lifestyle, strict religious practices, and separation from mainstream society. Some historians think they lived at Qumran and hid by the scrolls in nearby caves as Roman forces approached during the first Jewish revolt around 68 AD. But not everyone agrees, right? Other researchers believe the scrolls came from multiple libraries in Jerusalem and were hidden for safekeeping during the war. The truth? No one knows, for certain. And that's one reason the Dead Sea Scrolls continue to fascinate historians today. The Dead Sea Scrolls didn't rewrite the Bible, but they transformed our understanding of its history. They gave scholars older manuscripts than ever before. They revealed the incredible diversity of Jewish religious life during the Second Temple period. And they provided valuable context for understanding the world in which both Judaism and early Christianity developed. More than 75 years after their discovery, researchers are still studying tiny fragments using advanced imaging technology to recover faded writing that was once thought to be lost forever. Sometimes the greatest discoveries aren't hidden in famous temples or royal palaces. Sometimes they're waiting inside an ordinary cave. And one broken clay jar changed history forever. Look, if you enjoyed this journey into one of the archaeologists' greatest discoveries, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Which ancient mystery should we uncover next? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.